Skinny jabs, weight loss injections. I'm about to go off on one. So obviously they're becoming very, very popular in modern culture and society right now. Skinny jabs is a slang term for weight loss injections. The most common ones on the market are called Mounjaro. There's Saxenda is another one, and Wegovy if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Now, after doing a little bit of research on these and understanding quite a lot of people that I know personally and through other people who are on these said injections, there is a lot to consider and go through here. And the problem is that most people are not educated and they are fucking up their long-term health. Hear me out. So after being in the weight loss, fitness, health, diet, mindset, self-development world for well over a decade now, obviously I have helped hundreds and hundreds of different people from different avenues lose weight, get fit, strong, and feel healthy, and greater in their mental health. And through studying physiology of the body, through studying diet and nutrition, I have came to understand exactly what really works when it comes to producing a healthy lifestyle. And you'd probably agree that I am a living, breathing example over the last decade plus of what it takes to develop, maintain, and be consistent with a healthy lifestyle. Weight loss injections are not part of a healthy lifestyle. Now let me be frank on this. Weight loss injections were developed for people with type 2 diabetes. Weight loss injections, or skinny jabs as they're commonly known, are an appetite suppressant. What they basically do is they reduce your appetite and make you feel fuller for longer, which is very advantageous to those people who can't get a handle on their diet. They basically mimic a hormone called GLP-1, which is more or less released when you eat and makes you feel full. So it's pretending and tricking your brain into thinking that your stomach is full and you do not need to eat. Now, if you are an obese person, now what do I mean by obese? I mean, and this is true according to the categorization of if you qualify for weight loss injections, be it Mounjaro, be it Saxenda, or whatever else, to actually qualify, because you're supposed to get them under a medical professional, believe it or not from your local fucking residence groups on Facebook. But to qualify, you're supposed to be a BMI, a body mass index of 35 plus. Now, obviously BMI depends on your height and weight. If you're a taller person, you'll be carrying more weight to be a BMI of 35, but likewise, you can be 5'2" and still be a BMI of 35 if you're quite large and overweight. But BMI of 35 would probably mean that you're carrying at least 4 stone of excess weight. You would be classed as more or less clinically obese. Now, a lot of these people I know, and you may be watching this right now, do not have 4 stone to lose before taking these injections. Some of you have 2 or 3 stone, even a stone to lose, and you're taking it as the quick fix and easy way out. And this is where I believe it's potentially very, very wrong and could be actually very, very dangerous. Let's go into it. So you may be aware that the common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. These are very simple side effects that could happen from any medication really. But if you're starting to feel ill and nauseous of something that is supposedly helping you lose weight, then unless you've been prescribed it by a doctor and they are looking after you as you take it and you are having regular checkups with maybe your bloods and you're going to see the doctor face to face or online and you're giving feedback, then there's a potential that it's probably not agreeing with you. So if you are not under the supervision of a medical professional, you should stop taking these fucking skinny jabs right now, because they are going to fuck you up in the long run. Let's go even deeper into that. To be clear, to qualify for these injections, you supposedly have to have a BMI of 35, meaning that you'd be classed as class 2 obesity, which actually means you'd be eligible for bariatric surgery. So it kind of makes sense if you are 5 or 6 stone overweight and you struggle to get out of bed and in and out of the car and you're out of breath everywhere you go, that you are a living, breathing warning, right? And you likely could have a heart attack and die at any moment. Now, for these injections for that kind of person could be quite useful under medical supervision, because this person is weighing on the NHS because they get, they might require some kind of surgery or medical attention from being obese. Now that puts pressure and strain and a cost on the NHS and the health service. Therefore, they want to administer these injections safely. Obviously, they don't want to kill people off. They want to administer these injections safely to help them lose weight, to loosen the burden. That's the fucking idea. So why is it that fucking John from down the street, who's got to lose 2 stone on his gut, who can't be asked to go to the gym, is a lazy fucker and just wants to sit on his arse and drink beer, sticks a jab in him, and doesn't have to go to the gym? And magic, he'll lose weight. Because guess what? It fucking works. works? Why is it that Sally from down the street, who's stressed to bits and just loves her wine and can't be asked to go to the gym, who has, 3 stone to lose, which she could lose from just looking after her diet more and going out for a walk or maybe getting her ass to the gym a few times a week, but can't be asked, takes the jabs and gets skinny because skinny is attractive. No, it's not. Skinny is not attractive. Neither is obese, right? But in between skinny and fat, obese, is fit and healthy. And this is the conversation that most people don't want to have. The conversation about, regardless of whether you're skinny or you're fat or obese, you can, as long as you're not carrying a long-term critical illness or disease, you have the ability to be fit and healthy. You see people in wheelchairs with fucking severe fucking disabilities get fit and healthy. Most people's excuse is, I can't be bothered, it's me mental health. Listen, I know all too much about that. For over a decade, I have helped men and women supercharge their physical and mental energy, change their mental fucking health. I've wrote 2 books on it. I know exactly what it's like to get yourself out of a dark hole. And most people need a good fucking talking to. Now, this video, I don't necessarily want to make it having a go. I may come across as a little bit offensive, a little bit brash, a little bit aggressive, but I'm actually quite passionate about this subject because I think the main issue with these skinny jabs or weight loss injections is that if John from down the street is getting it to lose 3 stone because he's been fat for quite a few years, since COVID maybe, he can't get his arse to the gym, he's not motivated, or Jenny from down the road looks at Sue on fucking the parent network and sees someone selling skinny jabs and thinks, I'll take that because then I won't have to go to the gym or look stupid or what. This is a danger. This is a danger because what happens is if you're not educated in any way on nutrition or exercise, then eventually when you come off these things, which you will have to at some point, you're just going to go back to the way you were before. Even the websites, the medical professionals, the qualification criteria, if you look at it online, it tells you that you should follow a good diet, exercise routine, and mindset as well. Because then you educate yourself along the way to think, right, if I'm not going to be able to eat, then obviously when I do eat, because you're going to have to eat, I should be very selective about what I do. But how many of these people taking these skinny jabs are actually going to sit to a meal, say they have 1 meal a day and say, right, I need to get a good adequate portion of single ingredient protein. I need to get enough good fats in this meal, along with some good complex carbohydrates for my brain health. So I've got fuel and glucose to be able to move, and glycogen for my muscles and glucose for the fuel for my brain. I'm also going to have to get some good vitamins and minerals to make sure my immune system's good with my vitamin C. I'm going to have to get me B vitamins from some supplement with some red meat or some really good supplements through the week. I'm going to have to make sure that I get a good quantity of hydration through the day, so I'm at least hydrating myself and keeping my liver clean and healthy. How many people are going to have that conversation? All they're going to do is think, this is the quick fix, I'll jab my arm and I'll just have a fucking sandwich every day. And I can sit and watch TV and lose weight, and you will. And guess what? You'll end up skinny. Because what the skinny jabs will do, especially if you're not eating, is they'll drastically reduce your intake of calories, meaning you're in a severe calorie deficit, and guess what? You will lose weight, and you will lose weight rapidly, fast. Some people are taking them before they go on fucking holiday just to lose an extra stone, which guess what? You will lose. But when you eventually come off them, do you have the discipline? Do you have the habits? Do you have the mindset? Have you built the character and the strength of mind to say, my appetite's going to come back, I know how to regulate it now, I'm already in an exercise routine regularly, I can push myself and I'm fine. For most people, that will not happen. They will go to exactly what they did before, maybe even ballooning further, and for the mental health, that will fuck them up even more. Now again, I revert back, if you're 6 stone overweight, if you have type 2 diabetes, or you're on the cusp of needing a fucking heart attack because you can't get up the stairs, under medical supervision, these skinny jabs are probably quite good for you to get the severity of your condition down to an acceptable level that is healthy and will help you live a better quality of life. However, I'm talking to the people who could do it through diet and exercise, but you're too fucking lazy to do it. And you're not educated enough. And again, I'm not judging here. Through my observations, I am seeing people fuck up their lives through extreme methods. And these jabs are more or less like a magic pill. That's what they're viewed as. Do you know what? They work like fucking gangbusters, because I know people personally who are on them, and fuck me, they lose weight, and they lose a lot of weight quite quickly. But the thing is, I would also question, if you're on these jabs and you're exercising, can you actually exercise with any effort? Because if you're not eating, you're not going to have the stored muscle glycogen in your muscles and the fuel in your body for calories to burn during the workouts. And also, you're not going to have the protein levels to maintain, sustain, and build quality muscle, which is important for everybody, by the way. I don't mean bodybuilder style muscle. I just mean some level of strength, so you can do a push-up or a pull-up, or you can go for a run and feel strong, and you can do some squats or hold a plank and your core strength's quite good. Like, how are you going to maintain any kind of muscle with such a severe low protein intake in your diet? These are designed, they were specifically designed for people with type 2 diabetes to lower their weight so that they could reverse the potentially fatal effects that diabetes could bring. But we're also using it, we're over-abusing it now, just like anything. Do you remember years ago we took ephedrine? Remember them? People used to take ephedrine. It was like this, like speed. It was like you bought it in big tablet form and you take lots of tablets and you wouldn't eat and people would clean the house and go fucking nuts and lose weight. Oh, what have you been doing? Oh, ephedrine. I'm not saying this is the same thing, but people are starting to get these off the black market now, or online pharmacies which are a little bit fucking dodgy. That are not really like looking into you deeply or looking after you. They'll ask a couple of questions to make sure they're doing their job. You send them money, they'll send you the stuff, and there's no really aftercare. What do you do after that? See, I'm all about longevity, and I get it. It's not a very sexy subject. It's not a very appealing subject, because what I'm trying to sell all the time through a private gym and online coaching is fucking hard work. And that's difficult. And if you can just take a jab in the thigh or a jab in the arm and lose weight, fuck me. This is why a lot of us health professionals, PTs, coaches, we don't agree with this stuff a lot of the time. We do in certain situations, but we don't agree with it because people are taking it uneducated. They're not educating themselves about nutrition. They're not educating themselves about the ability to bounce back from when they have to come off it, because some people are getting hospitalized from this stuff. This is serious shit. They're going down the extreme route. Years ago it was ephedrine, and it'll not be long before things start happening more serious with these skinny jabs, because everyone in your nana is fucking on them now. I would say it's grinding my gears right now. I'm sure that's a Family Guy reference. But it's frustrating me because I'm seeing people that I care about and I know, and I'm seeing things happen in life where I'm like, God, how can you take a jab, not look after yourself and feel amazing? How can you lose so much muscle mass and energy? See, I see these people on them and they look weak. They look like they couldn't do a press up. They look like they wouldn't have the mental focus to be able to be switched on at work and do important things and be present with people. People who have a lack of energy or lack of mental clarity, who don't have the calories and the nutritional value in their body to be able to focus for long periods, are very much on a downward spiral and a downward slope. And that's going to affect their mental health as well as their physical, because if you're not taking in adequate nutritional intake into your diet and you're just restricting the calories through a jab that's mimicking a hormone to tell you you're full, and you're not intaking the body the correct nutrition and calories that it needs, you're not going to be able to produce any output, which means in reality, you're not going to get very far in life. It's going to hold you back. Now again, like I said before, under the correct medical supervision, I ain't a doctor, I ain't a therapist. I'm a life coach, I'm a fitness coach, I'm a mindset coach. I help people supercharge their energy and fall back in love with health and exercise. I help people do it the healthy way. There is a place for these skinny jabs, but I feel if you are the type of person who has a couple of stone to lose, 2-3 stone, who could lose it through diet, do better diet, nutritional choices and exercise, that you really need to consider what you're doing, and consider that the quick fix never fucking lasts. And this is true with anything. Look at all those crash diets. Look at how many people went to Weight Watchers, lost the weight through extreme diet and then gained it back. Or the people who took ephedrine years ago and then gained it back. The people who are looking for the quick fix and the magic pill, which these skinny jabs, these Monjaros and all these, they kind of are for now, until they're not. I'm much more pro me than anti anything. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, right? Call me boring, but my life is far from boring, because I've found ways to make it energetic, enthusiastic, to get high on adrenaline and exercise and a health is wealth mentality with a movement is medicine mentality. And I help people get that into their mind so they can do more things with their family, so they can go out with their kids and not get out of breath or feel like they want to go home, watch Netflix and order a fucking takeaway. I help people see that progress differently, and when you start measuring your progress better and you start understanding that when you measure backwards against where you were and where you are now, that everything changes. I help people shift their perspective towards their own self, because far too many people are people pleasing and struggling with their own mental health, not giving themselves enough credit for what they've overcame and where they're going. Many people are getting so fucking pissed off with who they're becoming, and they're annoyed that they're going nowhere, that I feel this quick fix, although they might lose the weight and might get some compliments from people or whatever, is not actually fixing the mentality of being happy with themselves and having a lifestyle that they can maintain. And of course, this video is going to garner a lot of attention. It's going to have a lot of back and forward. And you know what? Opinions mean jack shit, really. Results matter the most. What I'm presenting here to you is not just an opinion, but a results-backed scientific approach to healthily losing weight, with also the observation of understanding their place in society of skinny jabs. There is definitely an absolute place for these things, but for most people who are taking them, what I have observed, do not fucking need them. They can do it a healthier way. They can get a result a healthier way. And guess what? Results destroy opinions. At the end of the day, who am I to say if someone's lost 4 stone and changed their life and they're living healthier and better and more vibrant and that their mental health's amazing and they've got so much fitness and health and they're living the dream life, who the fuck am I to judge them or say anything or point the finger? And this isn't about pointing the finger. It's about educating you properly and letting you understand that there are several ways to results. But the most useful way to results is the longer term approach. What happens in the next year or two? Where do you want to be in 5 years with your health? Where do you want to be in 10 years with your health and fitness? And I believe these skinny jabs they're not thinking about that at all. They're just how quickly can I lose weight? And guess what? Very fucking quick. If you take them, the result is the result. I'm presenting you here an observation, a potential, you could call it an opinion, but also an evidence-backed opinion. And if you look further into this, you will see that there's some fairly valid points here. I'm not here to get into a argument with anybody. I'm here to present you with some facts, some evidence, a perspective that could be very, very potentially useful and actually could save a few lives in the grand scheme of things. Do your own research. Think about long-term happiness and fulfillment rather than just a short-term gain, because you matter, man. Your health matters. Your health is your wealth. The movement is the medicine, the real medicine, not these injections, man. Unless you are a class 2 obesity patient and you really, really need to lose weight, or you will die or have severe medical issues, listen, let's try and look a little bit more therapeutically. Let's try and look a little bit more naturally, a little bit more prideful as well. Because not many of these people are going to lose the weight and feel super proud of themselves, because they've done it by taking a fucking injection and doing fuck all. If you're doing it healthily, if you're exercising and having the right nutritional intake, then fair dues, fair enough. But I can guarantee most people aren't. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you on the next video. If you'd like to learn how to create outstanding levels of energy, motivation, and self-control, my second book, Supercharged, The Modern Day Guide to Doing Exactly That, is out now.